to the Center for Spiritual Living North Metro. I'm Reverend Valerie Torphy.
I'm Sheila Fossen.
I'm Greg Fossen. We help with the broadcast production.
I'm Paul Lancetal. I'm your musical spiriteer for today's service, first Sunday in March.
And I'm Dr. Ernestina Garcia, and I'll be doing the readings today.
Yay. So I just invite you to close your eyes and take a deep cleansing breath as we recognize there is only one power, one presence, one life. And that is each one of us and every one of us and everything. That there is no thing that is not God. And I know that God is present in each one of us as this service today. I know that it is a time of joy and a time of opening our hearts and minds to ever in greater recognition of the truth of our beings. And so I know that this service goes smoothly in ease and effortlessness, and each one of us hears what we need to hear and gets what we need to get. And so absolutely so grateful for these wonderful people together with me here today. Grateful for all of those who tune in now and later. I just release this word, allow it to be, and together we say, and so
it is.
Yay. So the purpose of our spiritual community is to be a spiritual community, to be supportive to all those who are seeking support, to practice and live unconditional love, to be non-judgmental and forgiving, to embrace oneness, to join all others who want to co-create a world that works for everyone, all cultures, all races, all sexual orientations, and all life. And together we say,
And
so it is.
Yay. So, Paul, what do you have for us this morning?
Well, it's Sunday morning, time to let it go, let all the week go, all the responsibilities and all of the stuff that gets in the way of pure divine love. And this first song is Let It All Go. Voices in my head, babbling unclear. I can't believe anything I hear. Show me where I can say a quiet prayer. Let the silence begin. Go within, go within. Let it all go. Empty my head. Let it all go. To a black hole. Let it all go. Bless the stress. Let it all go. Take a deep breath. Search my heart. Someone moving in the dark. Oh, who can it be if not me? Shadow boxing with my evil twin, and I take it on the chin. I go within, go within. Let it all go. Learn to be still. Let it all go. My own free will. Let it all go. Rise above. Let it all go. Back into love. La da da, la la da 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 da, la 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 la. Making pieces, tension and release. I tame the beast. Go within, go within. Let it all go. Inward bound, open the door to higher ground. Let it all go. Up in smoke, let it all go. La 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 la. Making pieces, tension and release. Tame the beast. Go within, go within. Let it all go. Empty my head. Let it all go. To a black hole. Let it all go. I don't work with prayer. Let it all go. Prayer Is there more?
That's wonderful. Thank you so much. I really,
Sure.
really like that. So that's a new song.
I played it a while back.
Yeah.
I don't know. When I play these songs, I sometimes play them a little differently here and there. It's just because I can.
That's right. Well, that was absolutely beautiful.
Oh my gosh. Is that someone's stomach?
Our dogs are playing.
That's how they play.
Hey, get some toys out.
I'm going to have to
Sorry.
mute the producers. Just kidding.
Let's see. I think we're ready for the announcements that I didn't get out today. So
Just put that.
I think we'll skip them and just go right into the affirmation and the readings. If I think of something that's important, I'll say it later.
Okay. Affirmation.
Okay. Affirmations for the week of March 2nd, 2025, written for us with love from Stephen Anthony. Please repeat after me. My thoughts, actions, and beliefs are in alignment with Spirit's vision.
My thoughts,
Actions.
and beliefs are in alignment with Spirit's vision.
I attract abundant good in every area of my life.
I attract abundant good in every area of my life.
Every aspect of my existence is in perfect harmony.
Every aspect of my existence is in perfect harmony.
I trust fully in the divine presence that is everywhere present.
I trust fully in the divine presence that is everywhere present.
I activate the flow of love, peace, and grace that is my essence.
I activate the flow of love, peace, and grace that is my essence.
Infinite possibilities are available to me in the eternal now.
Infinite possibilities are available to me in the eternal now.
And together we say,
And
so it
is.
And thank you, Stefan, who's been writing these affirmations for us for every week for years. So thank you, Stefan.
You should put them in a book.
I've
Yeah.
suggested
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
they're pretty amazing. And he is pretty amazing. Okay.
He is. He really is amazing. You know, he had, I'm sorry, Stefan, but I'm going to just brag about you a little bit. He had a very difficult childhood with a very abusive dad. And he has just overcome that. And he has a daughter that just started college who's going to be a biologist. And he's the best friend and the best father. And he's been writing these affirmations for us since we started ministry, which was a really long time ago. So thank you, Stephen, for all you do for us and especially for who you are.
Okay. Amen.
Amen.
So true.
And so it is. Okay. The reading for today that has been selected for us by the Reverends is from the book, Now is the Time.
Oh, that's okay.
Coming Home to Healing Prayer by George Bendal. When the great violinist Niccolo Paganini was asked why it was that he played the guitar before a concert instead of the violin, he replied, I never rehearse the violin. My practice is in the gymnastics of the guitar, to be sure of my suppleness of finger and touch. My violin then never fails me. In much the same way, we practice prayer and meditation not to rehearse God or strengthen its power, but to be sure of our suppleness of understanding and thought. God never fails us. But we often fail to do our practice, to use and understand the powers that are all around us, flowing through us and through everything in the universe. That is why we must be willing, no, that is why we must willingly use affirmations, not to convince God of anything, but to teach ourselves a new way of looking at the truth around us until this new thought process becomes a part of our way of life and our prayers become effective. And together we say,
And so it is.
Yay.
Oh, the moon is broken and the sky is cracked. Come on up to the house when the only thing that you can see is all that you lack. Come on up to the house. All your crying won't do no good. Come on up to the house. Come down off the cross. We can use the wood. Come on up to the house. Come on up to the house. Come on up to the house. This world is not my home. I'm just passing through. Come on up to the house. There's no light in the tunnel, no irons in the fire. Come on up to the house. And you're singing lead soprano in a junkman's choir. Come on up to the house. If life seems nasty, brutish and short, come on up to the house. Seas are stormy and you can't find a port. Come on up to the house. Come on up to the house. Come on up to the house. This world is not my home. I'm just passing through. Come on up to the house. There's nothing in the world you can do. Come on up to the house. When you've been whipped by the forces inside you, just come on up to the house. If you're high on top of your mountain of woe, come on up to the house. You know you should surrender, but you can't let it go. Come on up to the house. Come on up to the house. Come on up to the house. This world is not my home. I'm just passing through. Come on up to the house. Come on up to the house. Come on up to the house. Yeah, that's a Tom Waits song. You wouldn't think he would sing about a metaphor for church, but there you have it.
Yeah, there you go.
That was beautiful. So we're going to do things a little differently today. Our title for the day is I Don't Work Prayer, Prayer Works for Me. And Reverend Michael is a little under the weather. I think I said that. So we're going to just have a discussion. So he wrote down a couple of quotes and I have some. So I'll start with that and then we'll just let whoever has something to say chime in. And if we talk on top of each other, so be it. So this is the one that Reverend Michael picked out. There are only two mistakes one can make along the road to truth: not going all the way and not starting. So I think
That's good.
that is really good, because sometimes, we get so afraid of what the or what the ending's going to be, we forget that we have to start to get there. So that other thing that I thought was really important is pray believing. The results will be equal to the belief of the one giving the prayer. And I think that's probably the most important thing. I mean, we teach in Science of Mind, we teach prayer and we teach it with steps and things, but the most important part of it is pray believing. So I'll be quiet for a minute. If somebody has something to say, you can chime in, and otherwise I'll talk some more.
Yeah, I like that the results are equal to the level of your belief, because God only gives you what you can handle, and your beliefs, as they get better and better, as you evolve spiritually, your prayers are more and more powerful.
Yeah, I think you have help along the way too. I mean, when you're in the, I'm going to call it the vibration of prayer, you're really letting go of all the stuff that's not prayer. In the divine love, you want to sit in that vibration, and prayer and meditation takes your attention there. And I know a lot of times people talk of prayer, they are praying for something that they don't have. And they want to make a connection of something that it doesn't matter if I have it or not. I'm in the vibration of knowing that I already have it, whether it's physically appearing or not. So it's important really to be in one with the divine love, and whether you pray for something or you're just meditating to be in that high divine vibration, that's what you want. I mean, I don't know if it's from the Bible. I was Catholic, I didn't read the Bible, but I've heard that, seek ye first, and it shall be, all these things shall be added unto you. So if you seek that union with the divine God or the presence, I mean, the mystery is something that we like to give a name to, but if you give a name to mystery, it's really still a mystery.
Yeah.
And we want to be able to be in that mystery and just in that knowing without having to explain it or anything. So if we seek that union with the divine, then all these things that we pray for will pop up sooner or later. That's kind of my take on it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the way to manifest.
I was reading in the Science of Mind. They were talking about how water can come down from the waterfalls, but it depends on how open the area for a river, or how it can go through a tiny little straw. It can go through, water can go, and that Jesus actually said, the power doesn't come through, the power isn't me, it isn't in Jesus, it comes from above, it comes from God, basically. And that and you all can do just what I could do. So it's and it depends on how open you are, how open your valves are to your your belief is so interesting.
And I want to piggyback on that because, it's so personal to me. Praying with belief really hit a chord, and then Paul chimed in, and yes, I do need help. My belief needs help, and just coming to service, the readings, Paul's music, I've been on edge, and now I'm reminded, and it gives me more help. Okay, my story. I have been distraught since Friday because I saw the scene on TV. I try not to watch with Zelensky, with Ukraine's president and our president, and and Friday night I just got more and more distressed. Oh God, I'm gonna cry. And I also know that Friday the 7 planets aligned. So I knew it was a special time, a special portal was open. And so I began to pray as I've been taught with the spiritual mind treatment, because that's how I soothe myself. And, to remind myself that God is great, and that, there's a saying, that with God, all things are possible. And my prayer, because the portal was open, my prayer was for peace. And immediately the little voice said, "Oh, that's too big." That's too big. You gotta, and I stayed with it. And I just kept saying, that, you know, because I know I have to put it current and in mind, that the violence stops, that I see the violence stopping, that, you know, we're not attacking each other anymore, that we're living together, and we're finding peace, and the stuff that happened on that TV will not happen again. And I just, and then, and that Ukraine is a sovereign country, and I'm a sovereign person. And so then I started praying for everybody, that they are sovereign too. You're sovereign, I'm sovereign, Ukraine sovereign. And so then my prayer got bigger, not only peace, for freedom, for our sovereignty. And so by the end, I felt, God, what a relief. But when you said, your prayer is, prayer is based on believing, I did have moments of doubt. And then I get out of my prayer and I wake up a little bit better, but I'm still on edge. And then Paul plays his music, and my belief gets stronger. That's all I have.
Thanks, Ernestina.
That's good. That's good. To me, the belief is a something the mind wants to, I don't know, like revibrate or something. And it's like the mind is what believes. The heart already knows. The heart can't believe. It's the mind. My mind wants to believe. And when I encounter some kind of situation like what you were talking about, Ernestine, my mind can't think about it. And it's just beyond thought. And I just kind of tap myself on the chest and put that vibration of belief right here. And then my mind somehow gets free of, confusion and anger and all that stuff. I just kind of put it right here, and I know it'll be all right. It'll be all right. It's right here. That's where divine love is. That's where the spark of divine love is. I mean, you think about your heart. I mean, it's beating all the time, even when you're sleeping. And what keeps it beating? There's like a little electrical spark in there, and to me, that's the divine spark. And it can grow into a flame and a fire, and all the beliefs and all the BS of all the stuff that's going on in the world. I just try to put it right there and burn it right up, and that kind of frees up my mind, and I don't have to think about it. It doesn't stay with me.
Well, you sang it to us this morning, and let it all go. Let it all go back into love.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there's a really lot of stuff going on that we don't have any control over. And, we didn't vote for that person. We don't support that person. And it is what it is. And so what's important for, I think, each one of us is to do exactly what Paul was talking about, is go within ourselves to figure out what we believe and how we want to treat ourselves and the people around us. You know, we were talking about our neighborhood the other day, and how we treat the people in our neighborhood matters, and how we treat the people in our city matters, and how we treat the people in our state matters, and how we treat the people in our country matters, and how we treat the people in the world matters. And we can control our part of it, and not what everyone else does. And so the biggest thing we can do, in my opinion, is hold that space for everyone to understand the truth of their being, and then their oneness with God, and that we really don't have to be that way. And you know, I think we come to this planet to learn things, and I think one of the things we come to learn is that the only thing we really have control of is what's going on right here.
Yeah.
And you know, how we are, how we believe, how we treat the people that we come in contact with, and hold that space, knowing that we're sending it out into the world to be a more peaceful place. That's what I think I can do. And part of it for me is staying away from the news for the most part. I looked at things a little bit too, and then it's like, even the TV stations that I trusted, I don't trust anymore. And so, you know, it's like, so maybe I quit watching TV for a while. That'll be okay.
It kind of gave me a visualization of being a container for love.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And to the
Exactly.
level of your belief is how big your container can be. So it's kind of a parallel to the strength of your prayer as far as being proportional to your belief.
Yeah, definitely.
And
I
it
have
reminded
a new thing to think about as far as coming up to the house. Has a new meaning for me as far as coming into your prayer. Coming in your house is your prayer, and
Yeah,
that you can bring with you anywhere.
Yes.
that's right. That's right.
I think it is okay also, though, to take action when you
Absolutely.
stand up for things that are going on that not okay with your heart, not okay with, and standing up for it.
And if we do it from a place of knowing what we believe and from a place of peace, because sometimes I think when things are going on, I come at it from a place of desperation, as opposed to, wait a minute, let's get myself centered, and then let's put forward who I am and the peace that I am, as opposed to getting caught up in the static and the unkindness and the energy that's coming at me. The best thing I can do is find that place within myself where God dwells, so that I work from that place, instead of a place of fear, or a place of anger, or a place of thinking I need to control. Because there's a little bit that I can control and a whole lot that I can't.
Yeah.
And I just want to say one more thing about Sheila's and Greg's analogy, about that God gives us everything, and to me, the waterfall, in my mind, what came to love, and how open am I to receiving, the love and the goodness and all of that. And then Greg comes in and says, well, how big is your container? That's all I have to say.
And there's always room to make our container bigger.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of, to me, it's like observing what I'm focusing my attention on. If I can kind of control my focus of attention and not get caught up in all the stuff, or just observe that, oh, I'm thinking about this stuff way too much. It's going through my mind like a polluted river or something. I'm gonna
Speaking of
open up the
rivers.
floodgates of divine love and let that carry me away.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like I have to snap out of it. I still go like
Yeah.
snap out of it, Paul. That I'm going to refocus my attention, and not get caught up in all that weird worldly stuff. And I do what this thing, I started writing something the other day about imaginating, which is taking control of my focus of attention, and not let it, wander off too far in the off-leash area.
I like that.
Imaginating
Makes it more of a
action.
action, not just
Action, right.
Yeah.
new word.
It is.
Good word, yeah.
Ernest Holmes says, before our prayer is framed in words, God has already answered. But if our prayer is one of partial belief, then there's only a tendency toward the answer. If the next day we wholly doubt, then there is no answer at all. So I think that's just a reminder that what's going on in here is really, really, really important. That's where we have control. It's not like all the stuff that's going on out there, I don't have any control over, but I do have control over what goes on here.
Exactly.
I do have control over how I treat my spouse, and how I treat my siblings, and how I treat my neighbor, and how I treat myself. There are times when I haven't believed that it was important to take care of myself as much as it was like more important to work myself to death, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Oh, it's okay if I work 90 hours a week because this is important. No, it isn't. I think that's the most I ever worked in a week was 90 hours.
I hope so.
I didn't even know there was that many hours in a week.
I think I was working for this particular bank, and they hired me because the federal regulators had come in and said that they didn't think that they were loaning to people outside. They should be loaning to everybody and not just anyway. We got a huge audit, and so I had to go through and document everything. And I didn't realize what I was signing up for at the time. And in order to get that done by the time the auditors were coming back in, anyway, it wasn't worth it. I should have said, you didn't tell me about this when you hired me, and I really don't need it. So good luck.
Yeah, really.
Hope you do very well here. And that's part of my learning path too, is figuring out that job's just a job.
Yeah.
And there's a whole lot of family and your religious beliefs, whatever they happen to be, your belief in God and your belief in taking care of yourself. And those things are important too. And I was raised to think work was the most important thing. So it took me a while to figure out, not really. It's probably the last thing.
Yeah. Well, I remember sometime when Greg was working and they were working the engineers, and you had to stay overtime and you had to do this, and I don't know. All of a sudden he decided that is not my job, is to stay on. And I think you spoke up and you stopped. This is an 8-hour day and I'm going home or something. Do you remember?
Oh yeah.
Really took a stand and they accepted it. But yeah.
And it is a process, and it takes practice.
Yeah, you have to know that you're worth it.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
you stop it.
Yes.
You take care of yourself.
You have
Yes.
to get out of your learned responses over your life. You learn responses that maybe don't serve you too well, and you got to unlearn them as you go.
learn new ones. And that's what they were talking about in the reading, is that, practicing prayer and meditation. I'm going to say service is a practice for me, that it strengthens the suppleness of our understanding and our thought. And it helps me to refocus better than I used to.
And the practice of reframing things too. When I get to thinking something's big and important, and it's like, okay, how much does that have to do really with my life? That stuff out there. It can impact me as much as I let it.
Right. Exactly.
And I don't have control over most of what's happening out there. I don't. And I can certainly hold the space for it to get better and be better. And I have to start with staying in that space for me.
Say a little bit more about the prayer works me part of it.
So, I'll just read a little bit of what Reverend Michael wrote down. He said, in his first Science of Mind class, we were asked, what if a prayer was the most powerful way to manifest anything in our life? Whether it was for peace or love or health or answers or anything else we want in our lives, but we never learned how to say a prayer for ourselves. And I know that was true for me. Like, I didn't learn how to pray. I learned the prayers that were in the Bible, but I didn't learn how to pray for me until I got into Science of Mind. And he says the answer was, we probably would have missed out on one of the most sacred and powerful secrets of the universe. Prayer works.
Mm-hmm.
There's no need on our part to make a prayer work. It just does. And Ernest Holmes said, did I read this one? Because the secret of prayer and its power in the outward life depends on an unconditional faith in and reliance upon this inner presence. And so if we're praying outside ourselves or praying to something outside ourselves, then I think that was probably the biggest lesson for me when I got into Science of Mind, is that I'm praying from the inside of me to the deeper part of me to know that everything is already okay, and that I will be guided, and that I will be okay, and that everything, it's like there's a knowingness now that I didn't have before I found Science of Mind, that each one of us are eternal beings. We're on our whole perfect and complete path, and that I'm only responsible for my part of that path. And of course, it's important to be kind to others and however, it's not important to spend 90 hours at work for a job. And it's not important to, but they're just, there's so many things that we do that aren't important, and spend more time on what is important. And learning how to meditate and learning how to pray was probably the biggest thing that changed things for me in coming into Science of Mind. And then he says, what about the saying, treat and move your feet?
Mm-hmm.
Don't move your feet until guided. This is trust. So I thought that was good too. It's like sometimes we move our feet before we know what it is we're supposed to be doing. So waiting for the guidance to move our feet.
I always like a saying, maybe I made this up, but I don't know. Meditation is not for seeking answers. Meditation is for clearing the way so the answers will just come. They'll just pop up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When you're not really totally seeking.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Just clearing the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, open to receiving.
That it's already in there
Yeah.
when you let go and let it.
But it's that part of figuring out the brain doesn't always have all the answers.
For sure.
But there's something inside that heart that does, that knows.
Okay, it's time for a little reading here. something I wrote a couple days ago. It's called Imaginating.
I like that word.
When I'm surrounded by circumstance, I reach for the exit. The way is here. Here's the opening. I slipped through. It's a third eye opener, just inside of time. I follow the feeling, a creative impulse. I'm imaginating. I break face and laugh out loud. I am a mystery to myself. No need to explain me to myself. I don't take me too personal. If a shadow crosses my mind, trying to catch a ride on my train of thought, I stay still and leave no tracks. I spend some quality time with myself, for I love me more than I'll ever know. I look me in the eye. I'm just my type. I thank me. I thank me. I call on me. I have a friend in me. I have a friend in me. I have a friend in me.
Yes.
Thanks, Paul.
Sure.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
When I'm surrounded by circumstances, I reach for the exit. Yeah.
That's
You have a song with some of that in it?
It's-
Some of those words?
Yes, I have. Well, I have this whole series of songs. I have a friend in me. I've
Yeah.
got probably maybe 15 or 16 of these things, and I usually play them with a little rhythm,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like a drum beat and stuff.
Uh-huh.
And
Yeah.
then I don't really play guitar with them, but I don't know. It's kind of almost like making fun of myself for being too serious.
Yeah. Yeah.
And loving yourself
That's right.
all the way through.
Yeah, they're a good version of kind of a guided meditation too.
Yeah.
Lighthearted guided meditation.
And lightheaded, too.
Lightheaded too.
So I think I'll pray us out and we'll have a song from Paul and move forward. Unless anybody has anything else they want to add before I do that. All right.
No, I
It
think my
isn't-
cup is full.
I am so grateful for each and every one of you every day and all the time. But thank you so much for this today because I've really enjoyed it too. So I just I invite you to take a nice deep cleansing breath and close your eyes and get comfortable in your seat. As we recognize that there is one power, one presence, one life, one infinite intelligence in, as, and through all that is, as my life, as Reverend Michael's life, as Paul's life, as Greg's life, as Sheila's life, as Ernestina's life, as the life of each one tuning into us today or later. It is the life of everyone everywhere. And so I know for each one of us that we are made of love, that we are God's gift to the earth, that we are one with the one with each other, and one with all that is, that right where we are, God is, each and every one of us, right where we are, God is. And so I'm so grateful to know that there is no place that God is not, that God is in every moment, in every breath, in everything, and that all we need to do is take the time to take a breath and recognize it, especially when we're feeling panicked or when we're feeling afraid. Just take that breath and recognize that all is well because God is right there. And so in absolute gratitude to know this is the truth of my being and the truth of all being, I let this word go. I release it. I allow it to be. And together we say, and so it is.
So it is.
Amen. Amen. Oh, Ashe. And woo-hoo.
Woo-hoo. know my mama always said, water your garden, make your bed. There's nothing like a little peace of mind. The best things in life take time. Sometimes you don't know until you try. Staring up at the moon, you got stars in your eyes. Never turn down cold champagne. Don't change your plans for a little rain. Sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down. Sometimes your heart's in the lost and found. Your mind's in the clouds, but you're stuck on the ground. When you least expect it, days can turn around. Days can turn around. I see you've got those tears in your eyes. You told yourself you'd never compromise. You're riding high, maybe you blew it. You can't go around, you gotta go through it. Sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down. Sometimes your heart's in the lost and found. Your mind's in the clouds, but you're stuck on the ground. When you least expect it, days can turn around. Days can turn around. My mama always said, water your garden, make your bed. There's nothing like a little peace of mind. The best things in life take time. Sometimes you don't know until you try. Staring up at the moon, got stars in your eyes. Never turn down cold champagne. Don't change your plans for a little rain. Sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down. Sometimes your heart's in the lost and found. Your mind's in the clouds, but you're stuck on the ground. When you least expect it, days can turn around. Days can turn around. Days can turn around.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
That's Sarah Giroux's song. Yeah, I learned this one on YouTube, man. It's if you get a chance, pull up Days Can Turn Around. Sarah Giroux, she's good.
So are you.
Nice, nice addition to your repertoire there.
Yeah.
Rose.
So I'm sure I won't say this as well as Reverend Michael does, but if this service has been meaningful to you, if it's changed something in your life, if it's opened a door that might have been shut, if it's opened a way of being that maybe you've forgotten about or not ever known, we are a nonprofit organization, and we do exist because of donations from people like you. So you can just go right to our website, cslnorthmetro.org, and There's a place to donate just right there. So you can use Venmo, you can pay with debit or credit cards, you can use PayPal. There's lots of ways out there. So we just invite you, if this is meaningful to you, to make a donation and help us continue to do what we're doing. So it's absolute gratitude.
In absolute gratitude.
I give thanks for all of the donations in all of the ways. For Paul and Greg and Sheila and Ernestina volunteering and being present and doing this service with me and every week for Ernestina, Greg and Sheila. In absolute gratitude for all the good that's in our lives, for all the good that comes to us, and for all the ways it comes. I know that it comes in prayer and in blessings, and it also comes in gifts of money so that we can continue to do what we're doing. And so I just bless this basket. I bless all the gifts that are in it, and I bless everyone giving. And in absolute gratitude, I let it go. I allow it to be, and so it is.
And so
And
it
so
is.
it is.
So it is.
Yes.
Don't worry about a thing. Every little thing gonna be alright. Don't worry about a thing. Every little thing gonna be alright. Rise up this morning, smile with the rising sun. Three little birds sit on my doorstep, singing sweet song, melody pure and true. This is my message to you. Don't worry about a thing. Every little thing is gonna be alright. Don't worry about a thing. Every little thing gonna be alright. Rise up this morning, smile with the rising sun. Three little birds sit on my doorstep, singing sweet songs, melody pure and true. This is my message to you. Don't worry about a thing. 'Cause every little thing gonna be alright. I don't work prayer. Prayer works for me. 'Cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Alright. Alright.
Woohoo!
All right, bravo.
So I'll do a benediction and then we'll quit, right? And you'll take us out?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So I just invite
Well,
each one
do
of
you
us.
guys want to join for a little fellowship afterwards, or just stay on?
Sure.
Yeah,
I'm
let's do
good.
that.
Okay.
And don't forget to invite all the people out there to join us too.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
It's in
all
the,
the people that might be out there watching this, join us.
Yeah. Actually, we
How
didn't
did they
have-
do that?
we don't have anybody right now, but it's in the comments that they can,
Okay. All
or they
right.
can, how they just can stay right on.
Okay.
Pull up the StreamYard.
Yes. Okay. So, and I'm so grateful Grateful to Paul and to Greg and to Sheila and to Ernestina, and grateful to know that right where we are, God is in every moment, in every situation, in everything, that we are always enveloped in that amazing wholeness that is the one life and the one spirit. And so knowing that is true for each one of us, knowing it is true for everyone everywhere, I give absolute thanks for those present with us today and those who watch later. We're grateful for you too. And we're so, so, so grateful to know that right where we are, God is. And so I release it, I let it go, I allow it to be. And together we say, and so it is.
So it is.
And goodbye.
We'll be back here in 1 minute.
Okay, and we'll see the rest of you next week.
All right.